boys and girls. Today we're going to finish up our Stegosaurus. Do you have your materials ready? Did you finish painting your paper plate and your toilet paper roll? Good. Let's check and make sure you have all the materials you'll need. You will need your paper plate and toilet paper roll, a pair of scissors, glue, a marker, and a little piece of paper. This is to make the dinosaur's eye. If you have a googly eye, you can use that instead. If you need to gather your materials, pause the video right now and go get your things. Otherwise, we're going to begin. I want you to start by picking up your paper plate and cutting it in half. That half is going to be your Stegosaurus's body. You can set that aside. The next thing I want you to do is cut around the paper plate and take this little ripply edge off. Watch me. And you should have a piece left that looks like this, and one like this. Set this aside, you will need it. This you can cut in half. Now you have two pieces. One will be used for the dinosaur's head. The other you'll use for the dinosaur's tail. So, can you see all these spikes that the Stegosaurus has? And you should see some spikes on his tail as well. What I want you to do is begin by shaping his tail. Now make sure you're holding it in the right direction. I want my tail to go this way, so I want my spikes up here. So you're going to cut a little point at the end of the tail and some spikes like this. Do your best. See how I'm starting to shape my spikes? My dinosaur's tail is all ready. I'm going to set that aside. And the next thing I'm going to do is shape the dinosaur's head. So make sure you have it facing the direction you want. The hump should face down, like you see here. And you're going to shape a round part at the end for his head. Just kind of cut it around, cut the pointy parts off. You know, make it a little bit rounded like this. Can you see how my dinosaur's head is shaped? And we're going to use that for his head, and we'll glue it on the paper plate in a moment. The next thing you want to do is use this to cut some spikes. The easiest way to do this is to cut a straight line across, because it's much easier to cut spikes on a straight line. You can set your extra piece apart. You'll have something like this, and you can start cutting your spikes. There's one. And you can see I have these little spikes left over from when I cut his tail out. You can use those if you would like. So you don't need to throw those away just yet. Hold on to them. You might want to use them to glue on your dinosaur's back. Just cut a few, and they can be different sizes because they won't all be the same size on a real dinosaur. You can kind of cut one way and then the other way, and you'll get a bunch of triangles. This. When you think you have enough spikes for the dinosaur's back, you can stop. And then we're going to start putting the dinosaur together. Oh, one more thing before you work. We're going to need to turn this toilet paper roll into his legs. Cut it in half. Squeeze it a little bit and cut. Then you're going to cut 2 small slits that you can slide the dinosaur into. The slits should just come up to here. Watch me. 1, 2. Just 2 small slits on each side. 1 on this side, 1 on this side, and do that to each piece. Oops. Cut about halfway down, and a cut. And set those aside. Get your plate, your half a plate, and put your dinosaur's head where you want it. I want it right here. I think I'll turn it up a little bit. I don't want him eating the grass. And you're going to put a little bit of glue on it, and this is where you're going to have some patience. A little glue right here. And you're going to glue it to the part of the plate where you want his head to be. I want mine here. And now you're going to have to pinch and hold it until it's dry enough that it won't just fall off. If I let go now, it falls off. So I have to have a little patience and hold it there. And if you don't think you have the patience to hold it, then you're going to have to lay it down on the table and wait until it dries before you can move to your next step. So now I'm just going to sit here waiting for glue to dry. It looks like it's dry enough to hold, but it's still kind of fragile, meaning it might fall apart if I'm not gentle. So I have to be gentle with it. I'm going to place it on the table. Hold your tail the way you want it. Let's take a look at this paper plate dinosaur again. I want my tail to point up like that a little bit. So I'm going to put a little glue on the end of his tail right here. Here's my glue, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the head. I'm going to glue his tail on. And I'm going to have to hold it there with my fingers until it's dry enough that it won't just fall off. I'm just going to wait for my glue to dry. Look. Seems my glue's dry enough to hold on, but remember it's still fragile, and if I'm too rough with it, it will fall off. The next thing we're going to do is glue on the dinosaur's spikes along its back. So you're going to glue them on one at a time, and you're probably going to have to pinch and hold them there a bit, just like we did his tail and his head. So have some patience and glue on your spikes. Let me show you to begin. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right across the bottom. And I'm going to glue it to the back of my paper plate like so, and just hold it there. That's my first spike. And I'm going to hold it till it dries, and I'm going to keep gluing on spikes until I have enough. Here's my second one. if you're ready to start gluing on your spikes. There! My dinosaur's ready to get his legs. Do you have your legs ready? Now keep in mind, you just glued him together. He's still a little fragile. If you're a little afraid that his spikes or his head or tail might fall off, you can pause the video at this point and give your dinosaur 10 or 15 minutes to dry before you do this part. I'm going to be very careful. Here are his legs. Here's the first leg. You're going to slide the plate into the slits of his legs, like so. Do you see how I slid it in and his leg stays on? Now I'm going to do one to the other side. My dinosaur now has 2 legs. And he can stand up. There we go. The last thing I want to do is give him an eye. Remember I said if you have a googly eye, you can glue that on right here. If not, you can just make an eye from out of your little piece of paper that I asked you to get. Just cut a circle, a small circle because it has to fit on his head. Oh, that's pointy. Here's my little eye, and I'm going to put a little black dot in the middle of it with my marker. And there's my dinosaur's eye, and I'm going to put a teeny tiny drop of glue on it before I put it on his face because I don't want it to slide off. Teeny tiny. That's all. And I'm going to glue it right there. And there's my dinosaur. How did yours come? Good. When you're all done, I want you to take a picture and send it to me. Thanks.